Well, hello again, beautiful people. Welcome to another session at Microsoft Zero to Hero Microsoft Learn community. This is your community, and we are so happy that we come together again, and we are going to have another interesting session, trying to learn together. And this is a great opportunity for everyone to learn more about another interesting topic around Microsoft cloud technology. So basically, today we are going to talk about another topic, which is around Microsoft Azure. And it's great because we had planned to host this session several weeks ago. We couldn't manage it, but now, after several weeks, now we are going to host this session again, which is great, and it's really interesting topic. Uh, as we have our normal process, I have several slides to share with you guys. As you know, today we have Abhishek with interesting topic called how to build high availability solution using Microsoft Azure. And if you haven't connected us yet, aka.ms slash join zero to hero is the short link of our community. You can easily join our learning rooms, or if you want, you can follow us on LinkedIn or YouTube channel to make sure that you are getting the latest update from our community. Uh, the other slide that I have. So, as usual, Microsoft Learn. We always say make Microsoft Learn community on your homepage because it's important. If you are part of Microsoft community, you need to learn more. And if you would like to share what you learn, Microsoft Learn community learning rooms is the great place because you can connect to experts, you can share what you learn, and even you can learn from the other people. It's a great opportunity for you if you want to be part of a great community, included all of experts, student ambassadors, or RDs and MVPs. And beside that, you have this opportunity to get latest update and join a conversation on Microsoft Learn Hub on Tech Community. So don't miss this opportunity. And if you want to learn more about Microsoft Learn, aka.ms slash Microsoft Learn community. And if you want to check other learning rooms, aks.ms slash learning rooms. So make sure that you are check these links and be part of one of these learning rooms. So Agus calendar, as you know, this is the first session of a month, and we are going to host more sessions during this month. And make sure that you have registered for all of the sessions that we have. We have topic around everything from Azure Architect to data in DevOps, automation integration, and so on. So it's a great opportunity for you to learn more about not only Azure technology, but also other aspects of Microsoft cloud technology. And if you heard about Microsoft Next Gen, it's great. But if you haven't heard, so Microsoft Next Gen Heroes, it's the new program under Microsoft Zero to Hero community name. So basically, this program is dedicated to all of new students around the world and also Microsoft student ambassadors. So don't miss this program and the sessions that we have. We already had one session. It was really inspirational, and also we had a lot of audiences, live audiences. So we are going to continue these sessions, and very soon we are going to have episode number 2, which you are going to learn a lot how you can be a leader if you are even new in Microsoft Word, or if you are Microsoft Student Ambassador. So don't miss this. Don't miss the episode number 2 of Microsoft Next Gen Heroes, and you're going to learn a lot of things from student ambassador, Microsoft student ambassadors. And the last slide from me, code of conduct. So in Microsoft Zero to Hero, we expected you to be aware of others, be friendly, and be welcoming and respectful. Be open all question and viewpoints, understanding of difference, and be kind and considerate to others. So with that said, I bring Abish to stage. Hello, Abish. Welcome to Microsoft Zero to Hero stage.
Hey, hi. Hello, everyone.
It's really great. So finally, we made it, and you're in the stage. We got a lot of feedback that the people wanted to be part of this, learning moment. So we are going to learn a lot of good things from you with this live session. But before we kick off the session and you take over the stage, what do you think about Microsoft Learn? Why Microsoft Learn is pretty important for people in the community?
Okay, so if you would like to hear my perspective for the same, so the very first thing is it is free of cost available, anyone can access it. Then it is created in such a way that doesn't matter that whether you are a fresher, you are just a beginner, or you are a experienced one, you will find it very easy to understand, you will find it very easy to follow. And the last thing which I would like to say that everything is available on Microsoft Cloud. It's really, really a good, I will say, good start and initiative for each and everyone who would like to build career into the Microsoft Azure cloud.
Exactly. That's really true. Thank you so much for your feedback and comments. So yeah, that's all. I'm done. I'm in backstage, so you can start with your presentation. And yeah, people, if you have any question, just shoot your question to the comments. And as usual, the best question will get our 50% discount on fundamental and advanced exam voucher. So don't miss this chance. So good luck, man, and we will learn from you.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. So before starting the today's topic or the session that is on building highly available solution on Microsoft Azure. So as Saeed said that if you have any query or question or doubt before starting is you can post your question into the comments section. I am watching it, and I would like to understand that what do you think about a highly available solution? What's your thought? Anyone would like to comment on it? What you think about that something is highly available, what it means for you? hmm Okay, so now let us start with this particular session, right? This particular today's topic. Uh, we are developing. I will say, delivering this session. So, what are the various components which you think are involved in today's presentation? What are the various things which you think they are involved to to make today's presentation or today's delivery is successful? hmm So, if you will see, I can see that one or two people have responded with taking the reference of Netflix OTT platform. So yes, you are right. And I can see that one person responds with networking, database, containerization, etc. Yes, so they are really needed. But again, you need to think about it that okay, are they really getting used? Like if I will talk about today's delivery itself before starting, as I said that okay, you guys are listening this particular or viewing this videos I am presenting here. Of course, to present, I am using my laptop. This presentation need to be done in all the cases. Then what about if my laptop goes down? If my laptop will go down, do you think that this presentation can happen? Of course not, right? What about if the networking which I am using, maybe the you can say the broadband or the mobile network, if that network goes down, can this presentation happen? Of course not. Whichever platform we are using to deliver this presentation, if that platform itself goes down, can this presentation happen? Of course not, right? It means while you are thinking about the larger landscape of a solution, while you are thinking about a large application or a solution, you need to find it out that okay, what can be the weakest link or what can be a point of failure, and overcome that situation, that okay, that particular point of failure can cause a serious trouble, that can cause a serious down into your business values, into your applications. You need to avoid this situation, so you need to think about it, how this thing can be avoided. So for an example, coming back to this solution, station need to be delivered, right? Laptop can go down, you should have secondary laptop. Network can goes down, you can have two broadband providers, you can have two mobile networks provider. This particular platform which we are using for delivery of the session, if this is going down, we can switch to another platform. Now the question is, if I am switching from one laptop to another, one network to another, or one platform to another, I can make sure that yes, my solution or this delivery will be available. It is highly available, but there will still be some downtime when I am switching from laptop to laptop, from network to network, or from platform to platform. So it means it can be there. But as someone mentioned into the comment, highly available means that your application, your solution, or if you are saying your architecture, then it will be available most of the time, right? Highly available doesn't mean that it will be always available. It will be available most of the time, right? When we are saying that okay, something that need to be make available every time, it means no scope for downtime. That will become as fault tolerant kind of solution. Okay, so you can say one tighter level implementation of high availability is known as fault tolerant kind of solution. But today's topic is that how you can leverage Microsoft Azure resources, the services and offering to build or create a highly available solution. So I hope my screen is now visible to everyone, and let me just change this screen and okay. So definition, what is high availability? So, high availability describes a system that is operating with almost no downtime. With almost no downtime. So, as I said, it can be there. Even if a failure occurs, the system can provide its services most of the time. So, this is the definition of high availability. But as I said, achieving something, achieving some high availability, you need to identify that what can be a single point of failure, what can be a point of failure, or what will be the weak chain into your solution or into your architecture. If you want to achieve the high availability, and as we discussed by having today's presentation as a scenario, then there are three components, or you can say the basic elements of high availability. One is redundancy. Redundancy means instead of using single resource, you should have multiple resources. You should have multiple instances of that resources. Like if you are developing something, for an example, you have database, database can go down, right? You should have multiple database. If one database is going down, then your business or your application or your solution should be able to work with the next set of database or the next database. Again, there can be challenges. We will discuss that, okay, what can be the possible challenges there and how we can overcome it. If your solution consists of, say, virtual machine, instead of just using one virtual machine, you should think about that more than one virtual machine. So redundancy is a basic element for high availability. The second element which we have is monitoring. Something is going down or something can go down. You need to do this by leveraging the various monitoring solutions. So you can use the monitoring solutions offered by Microsoft Azure or the monitoring solutions offered by Microsoft Azure partners. For an example, like Datadog, you should use monitoring, the logging, and you should collect the data from the running systems. Now, what is the benefit of collecting the data? Now, benefit of something is if you know that, okay, the CPU consumption of your laptop is going high. If you know that memory consumption of your laptop is going high or it is going beyond a threshold limit, then what will happen? The next application or any program that you are going to launch in your laptop that is not going to work efficiently, either it will not start or it will not work efficiently because it will not find the right CPU power as well as the memory, or it will take from some other running process. But how you will get this information that, okay, CPU is going high? If you are having some monitoring solution that is running in your laptop. Similarly, while you are developing your solution onto the Microsoft Azure, or I will say any of the cloud, right? If you have enabled the right monitoring solutions, then they will give you the correct and the current information, the current telemetry about your system, about your running instances or your services. So, monitoring is another basic element that is needed to achieve the high availability. And then, failover. Failover means one laptop goes down. I need to switch to another laptop. So failover is needed because it's a mechanism that can switch either automatically or manually from a current active component to a redundant component. In certain services or certain scenarios, you will find that manual failover is needed. In certain scenarios, you will find that automated failover will be needed. Before selecting whether we need to go with manual failover or we need to go with the automated failover, we need to understand that, okay, what is the need of the hour, what is the need of our application, how this, because failover, of course, you can achieve the things, but shifting something from one instance to another instance is not always be the needed, right? For an example, uh, transient errors kind of things. some network is not means for a very small fraction of time the network is not working. It means your application is not working. Or for an example, I am speaking but there is a possibility that in between, due to this network bandwidth, there is some pause or some silence. If this is occurring for a longer duration, means you need to think about it that okay, do I need to change this headset? But if it is happening for a very small fraction of time, then you need to see whether this problem is get automatically getting corrected or not. So again, when the failover need to be performed, when system will perform this failover for you, how long it will wait before doing any failover. Now, in certain scenarios, you can think about it. System is saying that okay, auto failover, auto failover will happen after 1 hour. If one resource is not available, not accessible up to the next 1 hour, then auto failover will take place. It means that 1 hour duration, your application will be down. In certain scenarios, you need to think about it that okay, I can't wait for that 1 hour duration. I need to do a failover after 5 minutes or 10 minutes. It means you will do the monitoring. You will see that okay, what was the last time when the very first error was there. 10 minutes now elapsed and now I need to trigger a auto failover. I can see that okay, someone is asked for a question that what is the disaster recovery in comparison to HA. So, disaster recovery is something you can say it's a plan, right? Business disaster recovery and business continuity. So, this is a process. This is a standard plan that, okay, you can say your business or your organization will follow. To achieve this disaster recovery, high availability will help you, right? So you can say that high availability is a component in your disaster recovery. Now, for an example, disaster recovery, you can say that if one primary site is going down, I will start using my business or I will start using the component that are running onto a secondary site. This is your disaster recovery. But until and unless you have not created these two resources or these two sites, means you have not made your application highly available, solution or infrastructure components highly available, you will not be able to achieve your disaster recovery requirements. Is it clear, Kurt? Okay, so now let me go to the next slide. Okay, now what are the technical components? Uh, what are the technical components? So we have seen that okay, basic elements is needed, redundancy is needed, monitoring is needed, and then failover is needed. These are the basic elements. But now, what are the technical components? Now, technical components for the high availability, they are majorly, primarily three components is needed. The first one is data backup and recovery. You must have backup for your resources. Now, can we take a backup of a network? Of course not. You can say that yes, a secondary network can be planned. In case of failure, secondary network will get used, and sometimes it is known as circuits. Or if the moment you will go deep and you will see express route with gateways and VPNs, etc. So there are various mechanisms to achieve something. Or in architectural world we used to say that okay, there can be various architectures which can solve the same problem. So data backup and recovery is must, that should be followed every time, because If you do not have the backups available, then you cannot perform the recovery. Based on to your DR plan, your disaster recovery plan, it will determine that okay, what will be your data backup and recovery strategy, because it is based on RTO, RPO. So recovery point objective and recovery time objective, and if it is a very large scale application, then recovery level, uh, uh, yes, recovery level objective will also be used. Now, load balancing. Of course, you are creating the redundant environment. You are creating the redundant resources, whether it is an app service, whether it is a virtual machines, or it is any other service that supports the multiple instances, or sometimes heterogeneous kind of instances can also be the part of the load balancing, right? For an example, you can think about apps, one application that is running inside the Azure app service. The similar application is running inside a virtual machine also, and you can use these two heterogeneous types of resources inside a backend pool, right? So it can be homogeneous, it can be heterogeneous. So load balancer is needed. Load balancer is a technical component that is needed for achieving high availability, and it will help you to manage the traffic. It will help you to route the traffic between one or more systems. Then it comes to, so we talks about redundancy, we talks about load balancing. It means now we need clustering. Clustering means multiple instances of the same resource, or a combination of different kind of resources. They will become a cluster. So it can be a virtual machines cluster, it can be a database cluster, etc. So cluster is more you can think about a term that contains several nodes for a similar purpose, similar type, heterogeneous or homogeneous. Okay, so we have one question that please, where I can start, and I will appreciate any resources that can be. I want to learn cloud-based tool. I am a data analyst. Okay, so Ralph, as you mentioned that you are a data analyst, right? So in Microsoft Azure, there are so many tools available that you can leverage for your data analyst journey, and because you are more focused toward data analysis, so I will suggest that you can start by using Power BI. And we already have various good resources available in Microsoft Learn for Power BI also. And as well as you can also start reading, if you are completely new to Azure, then you can also start learning AZ 900, very fundamental, I will say, exam, certification exam. But this will give you enough confidence, it will boost your confidence so that you can learn whatever you want to learn in cloud. Okay, so now as we were onto the clustering, so means the the multiple or several nodes of the same or the different types of the solutions. Now, what are the various steps of achieving high availability? As I mentioned, the first thing is define availability requirement. What you want? Do you want everything should be available all the time or some of the time? Right? So you need to clearly define your availability requirement. Once your availability requirement is quite clear to you, only after that you can think about it, that what are the various services you can leverage to achieve that availability requirement. For an example, a single virtual machine, it suppose 99.5 SLA. If you want to achieve higher, some say I will say 99.99 something, of course you need to create more than one virtual machine. Then the next one is plan high availability architecture. So once your requirement is quite clear, then you can think about your high availability architecture for the same. But again, you need to find it out. You need to identify that what can be a single point of failure into your architecture or in your solution. Then the next is perform end to end testing. Okay, it doesn't mean that okay you bring the multiple resources at one places and you are thinking that okay your solution is highly available solutions. No, it is not like that. You need to do the testing. As I said, you need to find it out that the various points or the various points of failure where you think that they can bring your solution down. You can say that okay I have one web application, or just a minute. So okay, you can think about it that okay you have one web application, right? And this web application is talking to a database, and here you are acting as a user. You are only thinking about it that okay my web application can go down, because your web application can go down. And it can be various reason. It can be like having very heavy load, or it can be because of some node gets down, some reason gets down, some availability zone gets go down, or data center go down. I'm just assuming that okay load can go, means there can be a very heavy load. And I hope my screen is visible, correct? You guys can see that I am drawing something. Is it there or not?
We
Can someone
cannot
please
see
confirm?
if you write something, but we can see the panel.
Okay, you can only see the panel. You are not seeing that, okay, I am writing something, right?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, so seems like this mechanism is not working. Just a minute. Give me a minute, please.
Sure.
Uh, and then okay, so now hmm, okay, so seems like this is not working. Uh, I'm sorry for that. It is not working somehow. Yes. No. Yeah. Okay. So let me try to explain without drawing anything. Like think about it that okay, you are having one web application, and web application is talking to database, and there are very heavy load, right? Because there is heavy load, you thought that okay, your CPU and memory consumption of that web application is going high, and it is not working. So you created multiple instances. You created auto scaling onto that. Of course, your web application is going to auto scale, but what about the database that is getting accessed by now multiple instances? That database is still having that particular load, right? There are chances that that database can go down. So you need to think about it that okay, if a web application can be a single point of failure, then database can also be a single point of failure. Now the next thing is, that is, deploy the application consistently, right? So while you are creating multiple instances or the multiple applications, or in the multiple regions you are replicating your environment, so you need to find it out that how you can deploy them consistently. So of course by using Azure DevOps infrastructure as a code, you can achieve this consistency for the deployment. And the last is, you need to monitor the application health. You need to monitor that okay, even you have achieved the high availability, you have done all sort of provisions to by leveraging multiple services, whether they are achieving the right goal or not. You have written the rule that okay, the moment load will become high, multiple instances will get created. you need to see that okay whether those multiple instances are getting created or not. Okay, so this you can achieve by using monitoring the health of your application, monitoring the underneath system which you are trying to create. So the next thing is, if I will talk about this demo application, or you can say the demo architecture, and if we need to identify the failure points here, so you can see that okay, your Azure app service or the web app can be a point of failure. Your Azure function can also be a point of failure, as well as your backend data store can also be a failure. Can Azure search be a failure? Can Azure search go down? Of course, it's a resource. It's completely distributed in nature, so it can also go down. How this can be achieved, or the more important thing is we are considering that okay these individual components code can go down. For an example, what about if I have hosted this solution in East US region, entire East US is going down. So you need to think about it that okay what will happen if entire region will go down. You need to think to deploy the same application, the same solution, or you can say the cluster into a different region. For an example, East US and West US. Data stores are now two. You need to think about it that okay, how data can be synchronized, how auto failover will occur if any instances are going down, or if instances are not going down, then how data synchronization will happen, right? So all these things you need to consider. So let us quickly go and try to see something on Microsoft Azure. What I am going to demonstrate is that we will create a Azure web application, right? And we will expose it by using Azure Traffic Manager, right? So I am here into the Azure portal, and let me quickly go to the Azure Cloud Shell. So I will use the same Azure CLI commands, etc. And let me try to let me try to insert some commands here. So the very first thing is I would like to declare some variables. So here in this case, I am, because in Microsoft Azure, you need to first create a resource group, and within the resource group itself, you can uh, okay, sure. I will share this link with you guys, and you can find it from there. These commands. So here I am creating this two variables here, so nothing else. Okay. Now, because I want to see the unique names, etc., and nowadays Microsoft has bringing that unique portion between the DNS. So this problem is almost, you can say, now solved. But because I created this long back, so I am declare something, a function that is going to generate some random numbers, or you can say hexadecimal string for me. And now I will generate some names, the variable names, which I am going to use. So you can see that because I am going to create two application, one will be in East US, one will be in West US. So you need to create separate app service plan, because app service plan will be region specific. You cannot share them between the regions. As well as I am generating some different names, and as well as this traffic manager name will also get randomly generated. So Now I would declare two locations. So as I said that okay, we are going to create in East US as well as in West US. So all the necessary variables have been declared. Let me just create the resource group. In that resource group, I am going to create all the necessary resources. So this will create a resource group with having the name, and the name of the resource group is TM demo resource group something. So we can easily verify that resource group from here. It will start appearing after some time. It will take hardly 1 minute. And then we need to create the app service plan with the standard SKU. Now, why we need the standard SKU? Because traffic manager will support standard SKU. If you will create something as free or basic, then it might not work or efficiently it is not going to work. So I'm going to create this resource group into East US. Oh, sorry, this app service plan into the East US, which will have the SKU as standard S1. Okay, perfect. Let me create similar resource into West US. And what we are going to achieve by this is we are going to achieve a highly available Azure app service that is deployed. The plan doesn't exist. Create name. What happened? Is that web app create name, app service resource group, plan app service name 2. Okay, my mistake. Sorry. Because I first need to create the app service plan before using it for any of the web application. So wrong command, wrong copy paste. So now this is creating the similar app service plan with having a standard SKU into West US. Okay, perfect. Now let me create two separate Azure app service, one in East US, other one in West US by leveraging the same app service plans. So going here and this is okay, some other typo here. So this will create an Azure app service in East US, and both the app services are same in nature. They are same, right? You will not find any difference there. Okay. So while it is getting created, okay, so one app service, one Azure app service is now created. Now this will create another app service, and we can easily verify the things. Okay, so this is our resource group. And inside this, we can see that two app service plan along with one app service. So East US, and West US, they are now getting created. As I said, that these two are going to be the same, no difference, etc. Okay, and you will not come to know. So I created another sample .NET application that I am going to deploy. So that code will get deployed here. and it's doing nothing. It's just saying that okay, from which location this app service is getting delivered. So currently this is getting delivered. This is updating for east to west one. Yep. Okay, so yeah, I will share this link with the GitHub one. I need to copy paste it the same thing into one GitHub. So maybe it will be available with the descriptions while this presentation will be made available. Okay, so as I said that okay, what we are going to demonstrate that yes, two applications are available, and because every application will give a unique URL. Of course, our end users or our end customers, we are not going to give two separate URLs. So these two separate web applications are now going to exposed by using the Azure Traffic Manager. The moment we will expose them by using the Traffic Manager, all our users will receive just single one entry point. And after that, we will see that okay, what will happen if we are going to stop one web application that is running either in East US or in West US. Users will start seeing the new page. If I will stop East US, they will start seeing the pages from the West US with a very minimal downtime, right? Very minimal downtime. And that will occur because this traffic manager is a DNS based thing. So it needs some time to refresh the IP address cache. Okay, so it's taking longer than usual to deploy this code. And the reason might be because it's getting compiled and then getting deployed. Okay, perfect. So now let me deploy the another same code into the secondary application also. Okay, while this is getting deployed, we can see that it's getting created in EastUS. I can go up here that what will be the application and how it looks like. Okay, so you can see this is the sample application, and because we deployed this in East2S, so it is demonstrating as East2S, and the next application which we are currently deploying, it will say that okay, this application is deployed in West2S. But as I mentioned that these are the two URLs, two separate or two same instances deployed into different region, right? Two separate application deployed into two region. Okay, so now we have a question that how does traffic manager or front door takes care of its own? Yes, so traffic manager and Azure front door, they are you can say available as a PaaS service, and Microsoft will make sure that they will be available all the time for you. So in certain services, wherever you can configure these things, you need to configure, but rest of the things they will be automatically configured by Microsoft here in this case. Okay, so okay, so now it's really taking too much time. Okay, so let us go to the next slide. While this is getting deployed, we will come back to this. So What are the best practices for high availability architecture? So the very first thing is you should design for fault tolerant. Okay, you the moment you will say that okay we want very minimal downtime or no downtime, high availability will automatically be the part of your solution. You should implement automated monitoring and alerting that okay something is going down. So what you can leverage for this, you can leverage Microsoft Azure alerts. You can create alerts onto those services. Then you should regularly test failover and disaster recovery process. So if it is in this example where we are going to deploy two instances of the web application, one is east us, one in west us, and if simulating that okay east us is down, traffic should go to west us automatically, we will shut down or we will stop the web application that is running in east us. Then wherever possible, you should leverage Azure managed services. What will happen if you will use Azure managed services? Then the technical nitty gritties, those are needed to manage the infrastructure as a services things. You not need to worry about it because all those things will be managed by Microsoft. So as you asked the question, could how traffic manager or front door will itself create high available, how they will make sure that they should always available because they are the managed services. So Microsoft will make sure that those services should be available. Now there can be multiple services. You need to think about it that what are the various high availability options are available for the respective services like virtual machines. You can create availability set, you can create availability zone, uh, uh, you can deploy them inside the zone, you can deploy them with availability set, you can create them by using VM scale set, whichever suits to your need. Zone, three separate zones, right? One virtual machine in every zone. Availability set, they can be within a zone, they can be across the zone. But these two options doesn't provide auto scaling of the virtual machine. If you think auto scaling is also needed to achieve the high availability for your solution, then you need to put your virtual machines inside the virtual machine scale set. If I'm talking about Azure Web App, high availability need to be created for web app. If you think that okay because of the load will be high and your application can go down by having less resources in cpu and memory, you can think about auto scaling of the same instances. But if your application is quite critical along with the heavy load, you need to think about to deploy the same instance of that application into a different region or into the same region. If it is a same reason deployment, then what will happen? The moment reason will go down, your entire application will go down. But if you are deploying them into the two different reasons, then one reason is go down, the other will be already up. But you need to consider that where is your user base. Otherwise, there can be certain latency issue also. If it is a database, if database is inside the virtual machine, you need to think about to expose those virtual machine instances behind a load balancer. But if you are using a platform as a service database, or I will say Azure SQL as a database, that will be available. If your demand is high, then go with the higher SKU or go with the hyperscaler of your Azure SQL databases. If you are using a storage account, if you think that okay storage account is having some meaningful data, some critical data, and you cannot afford the loss of that data due to any reason, you need to minimum configure your storage account as ZRS. Of course you can configure ZRS, you can configure GRS, you can configure GZRS, right? There are six different redundancy options which are there. If these are and they are beyond your control, because Microsoft will control the data replication if you are following the redundancy. But if you think that okay your solution demands that data need to be replicated, or some data, or I will say a specific data from a storage account need to be replicated from one region to your desired region, then you should consider the movement of the object. So that is another solution, or you can say service or feature available in Microsoft Azure that you can leverage it. Then the other things I will say, like if you think networks or your virtual private networks can go down, you can think about two networks. If you are using express route for your cloud to on-premise based communication, you can think about express route circuit. You can think about express route along with the VPN gateway, so that they will be available in case of any failure. Now we are talking about reasons. So you can see that, okay, one reason will have three availability zones. Certain resources will be zone independent, something will be zone specific. So you need to select the right one. But the moment you will say you want to you want to make your resources redundant across the availability zone, you can put the reason in the zone. If you think that, okay, redundancy is needed between the regions, so you can create your resources in the region as well as into the secondary region. Or if you want to create multi-region kind of solutions, of course you can do that. So, as we discussed, you need to make something highly available. You should follow auto scaling. But in certain scenarios, vertical scaling can also be good for you, right? If auto scaling, horizontal auto scaling, you don't want to use, then you can go with vertical scaling also, even though it is not advised. But as I mentioned, in certain scenarios, it can be good. So in vertical scaling, you increase the capacity. The moment you are increasing the capacity, it means it will allow you to handle the load, but you cannot go beyond a certain limit. In horizontal scaling, you can change the SKU. The moment you are changing the SKU of your Azure app service, or yes, Azure app service plan, means you are changing the SKU. You are first achieving the vertical scalability there, and then within that you are achieving the horizontal scalability. So it can give you more compute power to handle the load. Again, if you think that, okay, something, your requirement is again not getting satisfied with this, you need to think about it that, okay, let's create multiple instances. So instead of having one web application, two web application, one web application can go up to 10 instances, for an example like horizontal scaling. So two instances can go up to 20 instances. You need to think about it, how you want to design your architecture to achieve your desired high availability. Then, as we discussed about failure, the failover. So again, sometimes manual failover will be good. Sometimes automatic failover will be the right choice for you. So automated failover, for an example, if you want to do this between the geos, so as your front door and as your traffic manager is the right one. The manual failover is something you can consider about is like geo redundancy of the Azure storage account. So that counts as manual failover. I can see a question that how can we achieve cost optimization while maintaining high availability? Again, so it's completely depends that, okay, how you are planning to achieve. If it is an auto scalability, you need to plan the auto scale rule in a way so that the instances are getting added. The moment load reduced, they are now removed. So this is one way you can control the cost. Second thing is, if you are creating, say, complete separate instances between the different geo region, you need to think about it that, okay, whether your disaster recovery plan talks about active or active passive, or it talks about that active will have the higher SKUs. For an example, active environment will have the resources which will have high cost, but in passive environment or the secondary environment, they will have resources, the similar resources, but different SKU, which will cost you less, right? Is it clear to you, uh, uh, Acun, Shukwama? Is it clear to you? Then the next is various reference architectures. So Microsoft learns reference architecture, or I will say Microsoft Azure reference architecture section has so many good architectures available which you can leverage for your learning, for your implementation. So this we have already seen, and we have identified that okay, there can be so many single point of failures. And while we are saying that okay, entire geo can failure, then you can develop like this. You can see that the similar set of instances are available into a different region, and data stores are getting replicated. So data is getting replicated. Now how traffic will flow to one region to another region, that is getting controlled by using as your front door, and of course you can also use as your traffic manager, but front door is more preferred over the traffic manager. The second one, if you will see, the zone based high availability options. So you can create your web applications, and here in this case they are running inside the virtual machine. So you can create virtual machine that is for running your web application, that is running your database. They are running into the various geos, so you can deploy in this way. Then if you are using multi-region deployment for a database kind of failure, so another good architecture available onto the MS Learn. I will suggest all of you to look for high availability or multi-region architectures. Search it, go to the MS Learn, search for multi-region web application with DB failover or data failover or zone redundancy, and you will find all these good stuffs there. Then multi-region web applications you can create like this. Okay, so Q&A we are already running side by side. Let me just go there and see whether our application has been deployed or not. Okay, so our this secondary web application is also get deployed. And let me go here. So this will be the West US application. We have seen that East US application was saying that okay, we are there onto the East US side, and West US application is saying that it is getting deployed or getting delivered from West US. Okay, so now let me create a traffic manager profile. So traffic manager supports 6 different kind of profiles. So whichever you need, whether it is latency, whether it is performance, it is based onto the networks, virtual networks, you can select the appropriate one. And every traffic manager profile will have 2 endpoints, means there will be a backend pool. Within the backend pool, you need to add these two as your web applications. So I'm adding one by one. And because traffic manager is a DNS based resource, so it will take some time. Means the moment you will create a traffic manager and you will try to access it, it is not going to work. Okay, so let me see that what is the URL of the traffic manager. And here we go. So this is the URL, means instead of giving my customers 2 separate URLs, that is one is in East US, one is in West US, I'm just giving them this traffic manager URL. This is certificate related issue, so that is okay. And now you can see that I am seeing this from East US, correct? Let me simulate this that okay, my East US is down. Okay, in any case, I want to make sure my application should be highly available. So what I am going to do is just to simulate that, I will go to this and I will go to East US one and I will stop this web application. just to simulate that, okay, East US environment or the instances which are deployed into the East US are now down. So yes, this is completely down here. Okay, so this is coming from some caching. Okay, service is now unavailable. And this is my traffic manager URL we were seeing from East US. Ideally, now you can see this web app is currently stopped. This solution is highly available, but not the fault tolerant. And this is downtime. It needs the IP address or the DNS refreshing. So after some time, this will be automatically done. And instead of using East US related page, we will start seeing the West US related page. So let me copy this and try to go the incognito mode browser. Okay, so this will come up after some time. We should not worry for that. But as I said, that highly available doesn't mean that there will be no downtime. Okay, so yes, now you can start asking your Q&A related to any other highly availability things. Okay.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Abish. Just wanted to make sure that you're in the Q&A part and your presentation is done. Is it
Yes.
done or are you still?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes. It
Amazing.
is done.
Yeah,
It is
because
done.
you answer most of questions that in middle of your presentation, but it was really great because it's really important to understand the concept of HA or high availability fault tolerance when we want to deploy a new solution inside Azure. And when we are talking about cloud solutions, it means yes, you have to think about everything. And this kind of solution that you provided to us today, it helps us a lot to understand how we can leverage these kind of services or architecture design to be able to implement a reliable solution. That was really great. Thanks so much about that. If there is any question, you can leave your question in the comment, and Abish will answer to your question. Otherwise, we can choose the best question as from the list of question. What do you think?
Yes, of course we can. Okay, so I think the questions which we have related for cost optimization, right? Then we have how PaaS services will automatically take care of themselves for highly available solution. Then one question is related to carrier, I will say, and
You have to choose one.
yes, yes. So I mean, sometimes it is bit hard to choose. So,
Yes.
so I can see that okay, only three people have asked the questions, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And within those three people's, I will say that it should go to the person who has asked about how he can learn the new things. So I think this goes to Rukayat Ross,
Yeah. Rukaya Drauf.
right? Yes.
Yeah, perfect. Then congratulations.
Mhm.
So, Rukayat, we will contact you because we have your email address since you registered for this session, and then we will send you the voucher of 50% discount of any type of fundamental or advanced exam of Microsoft. So congratulations again. uh, Thank you so much. And I think we're still stuck in DNS refreshing.
Yes, exactly. So this is not getting refreshed actually.
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes it takes time, but it's a good practice actually that we can understand what is differences between high availability, fault tolerance, and so on. That we sometimes facing this kind of downtimes, even if we are following some best practices, and then we need to combine some solutions together if we want to have a fully high available solution.
Yes, and the other thing is like the moment you try to configure new DNS, etc. For an example, this is the web application, and you are trying to use custom domain name with this application. Then there is a term called that is called DNS propagation. So
Yes,
that can take minimum 4 hours to 72 hours, so
yes,
that all the DNS across the globe will have your settings and they know that which IP address need to be located for your application. So as Said said that we can combine so many things, and if you think that okay your business cannot bear this kind of pain where we are seeing 403, you need to see that okay how you can make this live, or if this is happening, how you can send it to a different page so that at
yeah,
least user will see something instead of seeing this annoying page, right?
yeah.
Okay, so yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, yeah. Perfect. Then I think we are in at the end of the session. Thanks again that you were on Microsoft Zero to Hero stage, and hope to see you again on this stage to learn more about some other topics that you are going to share with us. And people inside LinkedIn or other social medias, you can find Abish. If you have any question, reach to him, and also you can leave your comments in social medias that we have for YouTube channel or other things. If you want to rewatch this session, make sure that you checking our YouTube channel. Once again, thank you so much, and yeah, have a great night, evening, morning, wherever around the world you are. Bye.
Hey, thank you. Bye.